So this is my dad, and I'm about to interview him about his college experience and how transitioning from high school to college was. Okay, so the first question is, how hard was it to leave the friends that you coalesced with, which means grew up with you when you left for college?
It was hard because I grew up in a neighborhood school. I grew up in the same neighborhood. Went to neighborhood schools from elementary through high school, and so I saw the same friends all the time.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, went to college locally, still in Memphis, but I was still
Away from others.
away from others, and and what was crazy is you're with people of different ages.
Yeah.
And adults, I mean, people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and here I am, 17.
Yeah.
So I, it was different, but it was a good difference. So I don't think it was really hard.
But it was a different experience.
Yes.
Okay. So the next question. Was life in college more untenable, which means it hard to maintain, than high school?
Absolutely, it was for me because I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth, so I had to not only, for the first time, I had to juggle school and work at the same time, and I had to pay for college. So, yes, it was.
Okay, and then here's a serious question that I'm concerned about. Was the food at college more repugnant compared to the food at home? Even like if you didn't have to eat at the cafeteria, you had to make your own food. Did you miss home cooked food a lot
Uh, yes, it was repugnant. I guess means
more? Like
bad.
gross, yeah.
Okay, gross. Yes, because I went to a small school, so there wasn't a big cafeteria or snack hall. It was just a vending machine,
Oh,
and I lived by myself most half the time when I was in college. So, uh, 18-year-old boys that live by themselves typically eat on feast on
junk
ramen
food,
noodles and McDonald's.
Doritos.
And yes, so it was. I did miss grandma's and mom's home cooking,
I would too.
but they were still around.
Yeah.
I just didn't get it every night.
Yeah. Okay, so did you feel indigent or poverty, like you had to work for everything you had, like you said earlier, or placid, which means like calm, composed, and you got it all under control, and why?
I feel more.
Did you feel like I can't handle this, or did you feel yeah I can do this? I got it.
It depended on which class it was. If it was math came easy to me, so I did feel more empowered with math, and I didn't have to study. Honestly, I rarely went to the class. I just showed up for the tests and the exams. But there were other classes like physics. Physics. I told you one time. That's the only time I only got a 12.
Yeah,
Like out of 100, I got a 12. It was the worst class I've ever taken in the history of every class I've ever taken at any level. So, yeah, but then there are other classes pertaining to my degree in electronics that you have to take, and uh, sociology was a great course just to learn about how people work, which helped me later on in life. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the next question. Did the anonymity of college make you sequester? So that question is basically asking, like, did you feel so unknown that you had to hide and be your own person, or were you like, I'm gonna be over here with these guys, and then over here? Did you just join in with others, or did you sort of stay on your own in college?
Just kind of happened the way it's always happened for me, just organically, just through conversations. I've always been a pretty talkative guy, and but let me make sure I understand the question. That doesn't make you. At first, it was intimidating because, like I said, I grew up in one little neighborhood, and we rarely left that neighborhood, even though it was a big city. And now I'm with other people who went to different neighborhood schools, and they grew up in different environments. But at the same time, a lot of it was inner city people, so I did feel that connection with them. And then but as far as withdrawing from others, the reason that I probably did it later on in college is because it got harder.
Yeah.
do feel isolated because you all of a sudden,
You're working extra hard just to get the grades, and
yes, working extra hard to get the grades. And I'm taking a course that none of my friends that I grew up with was taking, so I didn't really have that.
you can
So,
just talk to somebody
right.
about, how do you do this?
Yes.
You just sort of like on your own to figure it out. Again, the last and final question is, in a terse explanation, can you describe how discerning were you in picking your classes?
Well, I'm so glad you were defining these words for me.
I don't know.
So, in
In a terse, which means concise explanation.
can you explain how
Yeah, discerning you were in picking your classes.
discerning would be like how picky I was?
Yeah.
Okay. Not at all.
You're just like,
No, it was a more of a technical college, so they had the course mapped out for me. And I'll be honest with you, I've told you this, I've told a lot of people this. I didn't have a plan, so I become part of somebody else's. So after I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the reason I went to this particular school and chose this particular course of action, this particular degree, is because I got a postcard in the mail.
Oh, so
That's what it was. Probably be email or Snapchat now, but I got a postcard in the mail that said, "You'd be great for this program." So I said, "All right, I don't have any plans for the rest of my life, so
I'm going to devote my whole life to this one letter."
So I filled out the card, sent it back. I didn't have to pay for postage; they did. And the lady contacted me, and she said, "Oh, I think you'd be a great fit," which was all.
It was just like, I'll say that to everybody.
She probably got money for bringing me in, and that's fine. That's her job.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you don't have a plan, you become part of somebody else's, and that's the biggest piece of advice I've ever given you is at least have an idea of where you want to go before you take that step. And I had no idea. And what's bad is I was never really interested in the material. And I knew that two weeks into it. And I'm like, well, I don't have any other plans for the rest of my life. And I did it for 20.
I'll do it anyway.
Over 40 years. Well, because I didn't know what else I wanted to do. So I was not discerning at all.
Yeah.
And I want more than that from other people, especially you.
Well, thank you for being in this interview. I've learned a lot about what I need to do and how to transition through. So, yeah.
You're welcome.